up. There must be a better way to do this. This is mad. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, the 5th of December. My name is Kyle, and I'm going to be running through the AI news and updates of the day. We've got a handful of things going on. I also want to shout out a new community, a free community that I have built, and we are now getting people into it. I say new, we've already got about 3,000 people in it already, but we are reinvigorating it. We're bringing it back because I now actually know what I want to do with it. So I'm going to talk about that in a moment. If you are interested in that, though, that's already live. So if you head over to AI with Kyle, you're now going to see a join community button at the top. If you click on there, it will take you through the steps to be able to join that community, totally free. And I will talk at the end of this live about what we're doing with it, because I think it would be quite exciting if you are interested in learning how to use AI to better your life and how to survive whatever is going to be happening in the future with artificial intelligence. First up, I'm going to jump into some AI news. We're going to cover a couple of things, some interesting reports that have come out, and some other smaller items. Nothing massive today, but nice end to the week. We're expecting a lot next week. We're expecting ChatGPT Garlic, and whatever that's going to be. Probably going to be GPT 5.2, could be GPT 5.5, but it will be coming next week. Before that, if any of you use Claude, and if any of you use Claude Code in particular, you will probably know there's a phrase which is "you're absolutely right." When you call out Claude Code, and this happens with a lot of tools, a lot of AI tools, if you call it out and say, well, actually, no, that doesn't sound right, or it sounds like you're making something up, it will always respond with, "you're absolutely right." And it became a bit of a meme with Claude Code in particular. So much of a meme that somebody actually built something called absolutelyright.lol, which looks like this, and basically measured, using this beautiful graph, every time their Claude Code said, "you're absolutely right." It has stopped. Since Opus 4.5, which released last week, so it's been out for nearly 2 weeks, "you're absolutely right" has unfortunately died a death. You can see all of the cases here. It used to be absolutely right, then it became kind of just right, and then it has now decreased and it is stopped with the emotional support that it would give us every time we told it it was feeding us a lie. So does this mean that Claude is not lying to us as much? No, they've just got rid of the verbiage of "you're absolutely right," which is sad because it was quite cute. I wanted to get a mug made that had "you're absolutely right" on it, and I was annoyed that, remember at Anthropic, the creators of Claude were giving away caps, and they had a pop-up here in London, but it said "thinking" on it, which is fine, it's whatever. I wish it had said "you're absolutely right." It would have been very, very funny, but they did not do that, which is a shame, because I would have bought a cap like that. Okay, so one of the biggest things that's come out is from OpenRouter. So OpenRouter is a company that is connected to Andreessen Horowitz. They have shares in it, or they own it, I think. Let me actually pull up the OpenRouter. Here we go. It's an API which allows you access to any model, so a unified interface for large language models. What this means is they route a lot of traffic, and this means that they have a lot of visibility of what models people are using, which is really, really useful, because we can then get a overall picture of what the general public, what developers, what creators are using artificial intelligence for. It's hard to get that from an individual model because we only get data about OpenAI, or we only get data about Anthropic. What OpenRouter have done a meta-analysis of 100 trillion tokens, wow, with OpenRouter, to show what people are using. So what models people are using, what they're using them for, etc., etc. So very, very cool. I will put this, it's a long study. I'll put this in the newsletter so that you'll be able to go through it yourself. But I wanted to highlight some very interesting things. One, well, I'll jump straight to it because this is probably the most fascinating thing for me here, is what people are using it for. So over 50% is role play. So this is, yes, some of it is going to be for kind of writing stories, writing novels, maybe D&D characters and stuff like that. A lot of this will be romantic, and it falls under role play. So it's people who are using AIs for companionship, people who are potentially using AI for sexual needs, not safe for work needs, will fall under this role play. So this has been 100 million tokens through Open Router. So they give you access to many, many models, pretty much all the models, I think. So you can see, here's a list of their models, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. And 52% of the usage is roleplay. This is the side of artificial intelligence we don't normally see that much of, but this is an absolutely gigantic part of the market. Half of the market, half of the usage is this. Actually, Andreessen Horowitz also put out a study every once in a while called the Top 100 Gen AI Consumer Apps. This one is from August. Yep, this is August. And it shows you by unique monthly visits which AI apps are people, the public, actually using it. If you look at the list, it's actually changed a bit. It used to be even more skewed towards roleplay and companionship. And right now, it's number one is ChatGPT. Number two is Gemini. That's new. That was not the case the last time they put out this report. Number three is DeepSeek. Number four is Grok. Surprising. Number five is Character AI. So Character AI is a companionship app. It's a role-playing app. Number six is Perplexity. Number seven is Claude. Poor Claude. It's the best model. Number eight is Janitor AI, which sounds innocuous, but I'm pretty sure Janitor AI is also roleplay. Let's have a look. Yep. Be anyone, build anything. 15 million users. Oh, and yep, have a look at this. This is, I mean, we're calling it roleplay, but it's a very specific type of roleplay. I'm going to have to take this off the screen before my my stream gets taken down. Quark. Let's have a look what Quark AI is. Quark AI is proactive support agents. I've never heard of this one. It's number 9 apparently. Drastically reduce support costs. God, that's a website. Google AI Studio, Dubao, SpicyChat.ai is number 14. There are less of them here. I'm guessing Crush on AI is also companionship. Juicy Chat sounds like companionship, etc., etc. This is actually reduced. So previously, in the last few of these reports, a lot more of them were roleplay and not safe for work apps, basically. So it's actually adjusting a little bit. But coming back to this Open Router study, it's still 52% of the tokens, 100 trillion tokens, are for creative roleplay. Yeah, so a huge part of the market that we don't normally talk about in our space. So when I talk about AI news and AI updates, I tend to talk about business applications, creative applications, maybe personal productivity applications, but not about creative roleplay and not about companionship. But this is a part of the market that cannot be ignored. It's probably where a lot of the money is flowing as well. So what else has this study shown? I think this was the other big takeaway. The open source market was dominated by DeepSeek. So DeepSeek released one of the best models. It was V2. That's when they came onto the scene and everyone was like, whoa, what is this? And suddenly Chinese AI became a viable alternative, and it was open source. So DeepSeek V2 in particular was kind of the opening up of that. Sorry, V3. DeepSeek V3 was the opening up of that market. We've seen a decline in their dominance, and this is primarily because there are many other open source models available now. A lot of them come from China. So we've got Qwen, we have ZAI, we have Moonshot, that is Kimi, Kimi K2. We also have a few Western ones like Meta Llama, and I suppose we have ChatGPT, OSS. Yep, we have OSS. OSS usage is very small compared. But what we are basically seeing is DeepSeek used to have a dominant position in the open source market. That has been chipped away at by majority, a large number of other Chinese models. Minimax, Kimi, Qwen, etc. So interesting to see the shifts in their market over there. But they are all basically open source models. They are all Chinese models. So it's still not Western models taken over that space. That area of the market has been ceded entirely to China. This is token usage by source type. The majority is still closed source. So this means people putting routing through ChatGPT, through Anthropic's Claude, through Grok, through models that are closed and you cannot access the actual parameters. You can't download it. You can't run a local version. The orange bar here at the bottom, this is Chinese models. So you see a large increase kind of here through 2025, but it's staying relatively static, at least for the last half of the year, with closed models still being the dominant player. Again, this is just through Open Router, but this is 100 million tokens, 100 trillion tokens, which is a huge amount of volume. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this study inside of the newsletter. There is a lot here, and what you are interested in is going to be very, very different. You can look at the categories, you can look at what models are being used, you can see what they're being used for, etc. This is fascinating. So Anthropic are absolutely dominating in coding, which does not surprise me, because Anthropic make Claude, which is currently and has been for a while the best coding model. Others have tried to push in on it, but it looks like Anthropic has 60% share of the market. It's absolutely dominating compared to the other coding models. Cool. I will put this in the newsletter and you can go through it and you can tell me what's interesting. I will also put it in the community. So I've created a free community, which is at community.aiwithkyle.com. You can also find it on the aiwithkyle.com website. Go to join community. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post this paper and pull out some interesting charts, pull out some interesting facts and figures, and we can discuss it in the community as well. Because I think there's a huge amount here, far too much for me to go through all by myself. So I'd love to show it to other people and hear what you think is interesting as well. Because there is a phenomenal amount of information here. Very, very cool study though, so definitely have a look at it. I'm going to hop over to some questions. Let's see if we've got any. Good morning, everybody. ChatGPT have lost their court case about privacy. Which one? Oh, yes. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. Oh, hey, Tamas. Good morning. I didn't know if this was visible inside of the community. So I currently have 4 chat tabs up, which is, as you can imagine, a little much. Tamas, how is the stream? Like, is the audio okay? Is the video okay? I haven't actually tested it. I've started to stream into the community as well as TikTok and YouTube and Twitter all at the same time. So I'd love to hear how the quality is because I can't see it, unfortunately. Oh, I got a thumbs up. No, that was a thumbs up from YouTube. This is very, very confusing. And it's all on one screen. Right, let me hop over to... Cool. Okay, so that is the Open Router study. I will put that in the newsletter. Make sure you are subscribed to the newsletter if you are not. It's totally free. You can get that at aiwithkyle.com and then click on newsletter. You can sign up there. That will also add you into the community if you are interested, and we'll be discussing the study, the paper in there. Okay, let's hop over to Gemini. So we know that ChatGPT, OpenAI, are going to be releasing something next week. It's going to be called Garlic. That's the code name of it. And we probably think it's going to be GPT 5.2, maybe GPT 5.5. It is being released because OpenAI at the beginning of this week went into code red, basically saying, oh God, we are falling behind, and Gemini are biting at our heels here, and we need to focus on our core model, ChatGPT. We need to stop all of the other projects, and we need to pull something big out of the bag to become the dominant model again. Funnily enough, 3 years ago, when the first big public release of ChatGPT happened, Google also issued a code red. Because Google at the time had the Lambda models. They had large language models. Large language models originated at Google. The transformer architecture was designed and conceptualized at Google. They had this technology, they just didn't bring it to market first. Whereas OpenAI went to market and became synonymous with generative AI and large language models, and really with AI. When you say ChatGPT, people in the public now think of ChatGPT equals AI. And that's a march that was stolen from Google. And Google has just caught up after 3 years. Now we're seeing a reversal with OpenAI now in full panic mode, issuing a code red, and next week releasing ChatGPT Garlic. and we're going to find out what that is shortly. Now, Google are not going to take this line down, and today they've released Gemini 3 Deep Think. So the idea behind Garlic, this is a scuttlebutt, this is speculation, this is rumor, but the idea was they're going to release a model which is better than Gemini 3. Gemini 3 thinking in particular, so that they could take the wind out of the sails of Google. However, Google has just released an even better model today. They're just like, oh yeah, cool, that sounds great that you're going to try and take our fire, but we actually made something even better, so let's see if you can beat that. This means that OpenAI are on course to release something next week which is meant to beat the Gemini 3 model. But Gemini has just been updated with the Deep Think mode, which means if Garlic doesn't beat this new model, this new Deep Think mode that they've put out, then OpenAI are going to look very silly next week. This is a massive problem. So I don't know how you get any deeper than a code red, but this is going to be signaling more alarms at OpenAI. They need to hope that whatever they're releasing next week is better than Google Gemini 3 Deep Think, which is speculative because it's only just come out. So Deep Think is our most advanced reasoning model that explores multiple hypotheses simultaneously to give you an even more sophisticated output. So it's like a deep research mode, but even more. So what it's going to do is it's going to run parallel agents all at the same time, and then we'll have a process at the end which compares them and then comes out with the best solution. Obviously, this is overkill if you are given it a task like, hey, write me a tweet about such and such. This is really useful if you are doing something more academic, if you are doing something more scientific. Having the ability for it to have almost like a contestation process where you have multiple hypotheses and then it brings them together and it finds the most powerful or the most likely of those hypotheses is really, really, really cool. So with Deep Think mode, Gemini uses iterative rounds of reasoning, resulting in more refined, nuanced code that helps you visualize, prototype, and experiment with noticeably richer detail. It is only available right now in the Ultra subscribers, so it's not widely available at all, and you can get it by using the drop down. So if you have Ultra, you can use this now. They don't even need to get this out into the public broadly. They just need a model which is better than whatever ChatGPT Garlic is next week. And if they do have that, that's going to entirely torpedo any plans that OpenAI have to get back in the race. This is fantastic. I don't have a horse in this race. I think that competition is great. I want to see Google and OpenAI go at it. So it's fantastic to see Google now properly competing, because for the last couple of years they have been woefully behind, and now they've come out punching, they've come out swinging, which is super, super exciting. Hopping over to questions. S-Head says it's good. Is that Gemini 3 Deep Think or something else that's good? Sorry, I didn't see when you sent that message. Oh, hey, hi Ian. All good in Circle, fantastic. I can't, annoyingly, in Circle, inside of the community, for those who are not watching from there, I can't overlay myself in the same way that I am on YouTube or on TikTok. So instead I'm a little small head, but that's fine, that's fine. You see me anyway, you see enough of me. So anyone who does want to join from the community, if you go to aiwithkyle.com, there's now a new button there which is join community, and that will bring you in to the free community where we are discussing these kind of issues. And off the back of the live stream, I'll post a few of these items that we discussed, and we can have discussions about it and actually talk about it as a place to reflect on what's happening, because it's all well and good me just reading through these papers, but it's really useful if we can share them and we can all have a look at them and come to our conclusions. So I'll be sharing them in there. So that is Gemini 3. Let's hop over to my favorite model. I did a video the other day which was, people keep asking me, should I use ChatGPT or should I use Gemini? Which people did not used to ask a few weeks ago. Nobody cared about Gemini. But the question keeps coming up. It's like, oh, ChatGPT or Gemini, what's better? And my answer is always Claude, because I really like Claude. I think Claude's the best model. So let's hop over to Anthropic and Claude and something called Anthropic Interviewer. So this is very interesting. They have created basically a survey which pops up inside of Claude when you are using Claude now, or you can go to claude.ai/interviewer and it runs you through a survey. So they're using this to collect information on their users, on people who are using Claude, and find out what we're using it for. So it's a little bit like this open router study that we just looked at, but it's specifically for Claude and Anthropic. They've already published a bunch of information about who's using it. Importantly, this is not just what are you using it for, it's more about how optimistic or how pessimistic do you feel about artificial intelligence, which is handy. So, I mean, this is what it looks like. I'm not going to do this live because it's far too much, but what they've done, which I think is great, is they've made it a interactive AI object, so you can talk to your interviewer. So let's see if we can do. Yes, so it's going to run me through basically a custom GPT, which is preloaded with these questions, and then it's going to save that information. I'm not going to run through it now, but if you do use Claude and you want to help this effort, you want to provide more information, then go to claude.ai/interviewer, or just use Claude and it will probably pop this up at some time in the next few days and say, hey, do you want to do a survey? I do love the way they're doing it though. What's the last thing you used an AI chatbot for? Well, technically I'm using it to answer this, but I don't think that's a very helpful question. Cool. So this will also be more exciting information. Listen to me. I'm that cool. This would be more interesting insights into the usage of AI and pessimism versus optimism once they collect more information. Right now they've only got 1,000 people, so I don't know why they bothered publishing about that. But presumably later they'll have tens or hundreds of thousands of results to work through. Here's a slightly odd one. So Cristiano Ronaldo, C7? I think it's C7. He just invested in Perplexity. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo is a very, very wealthy individual and he's invested in an awful lot of things. But to invest in an AI company is fascinating because he's so well known that this is actually a very public announcement. And I expected the reaction to his announcement to be like, oh, what are you doing? AI's gross and it's destroying the world. And for all of those normal arguments that we often see, that does not seem to be the case. So Cristiano Ronaldo says, curiosity is a requirement for greatness. You win when you keep asking new questions every day. Okay, that's why I'm proud to announce my investment in Perplexity. I feel that Perplexity might have helped with this this statement. Perplexity is powering the world's curiosity, and together we will inspire everyone to ask more ambitious questions. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Perplexity helped write this. The comments are fine. People are not criticizing the use of artificial intelligence. A lot of people are pointing out that when you ask Messi or Ronaldo who's better, it will say Messi. So they are trolling him. But people are not saying AI is destroying the world. What are you doing? You've forsaken all your ideals. I used to love you, but now I can't believe you've done this. So that I think is interesting in and of itself, because if this had happened a year or so ago, I think we would have seen a lot more negativity about this. Whereas it looks a lot more like people are coming to terms with the fact that AI is here, and that AI is part of the future. And even when your heroes like Cristiano Ronaldo are investing in it, that kind of makes sense. They've also got a page called perplexity.ai/Ronaldo, which I opened up earlier, and it is the most over animated. It's a lot. It's worth going to just because it is such an over animated page. Each of these carousel images, you can click on it and it will ask Perplexity something about Ronaldo. Ask Perplexity, why was Sir Alex Ferguson so influential for Cristiano Ronaldo? And then they have like a custom Perplexity agent here where you can ask about Ronaldo's goals. Which goals did Ronaldo score with a diving header? Oh, we get to move around it and click on it. Okay. It's very cool. It's the most over animated, madly detailed thing I've ever seen, and it's well worth going to see. And you can click on these individual things. What do they do? Relive Cristiano Ronaldo's bicycle kit versus Al Kajil on the 11th or 23rd of November 2025, including details of the goal itself and its importance. Okay, cool, fine. Kudos to whoever the team is who have worked on this. It's an awful lot, and I kind of love it. Definitely go and check that out yourself, though. I'll post that in the community as well because it's fun. Right. Gemini 3 listening mode has had issues with changing from English to German randomly for me. That's new. There's a constant bug that's been in ChatGPT for years, for 3 years basically, of it just switching to Welsh all of a sudden. And it is a bug that people in my community and the various groups I'm in still report happening. They'll just be chatting to ChatGPT and it will suddenly switch into Welsh. And for some reason that has not been removed. I've not heard of it being switched to German. That is unfortunate. The voice mode's pretty good in Gemini, and what's really good is the ability to use your camera and to ask it questions. It's in ChatGPT, but I find the version in Gemini really good because it works with their search so quickly. So I found that that's a really useful usage. But yeah, it sounds like you've got a bug with it moving to German. Sorry about that. Oh, someone's at the door. Good, someone is getting it. Right, communities. So, I have reinvigorated my community and I'm getting people into it. In fact, we're doing a big push this weekend and hopefully getting more people in there. What I wanted to do though is outline and show you a few communities that I think you should join, things that you should check out, not just mine. I'm not just going to say join mine, it's the best, because there are lots of reasons why you might want to join a community. So I wanted to highlight a number of people and companies who have communities out there that can help you in your AI journey. The first is going to be, you all know her, Sabrina Ramanov. So Sabrina has a Discord. I think she's moved over to school now specifically for female entrepreneurs who want to work with artificial intelligence. I am not in that community. It's one of the very few that I'm in. Totally fine with that. But if you are female and you are working on something and you want to learn more about artificial intelligence, I would highly recommend checking out Sabrina's community, just because Sabrina is extremely generous and just gives away just a huge amount of information and wants other people to succeed. So I'm sure that community is fantastic. I've talked to 2 or 3 people who are in it and said it's a good one, so I wanted to flag that up. The next one is a really good one, and I wanted to talk about deep learning AI in general. So deep learning AI is where you go if you want to find more structured courses about artificial intelligence. They start very basically like generative AI for everyone, etc. And then you can actually get into learning the tools, TensorFlow, PyTorch, etc. And then even onto training your own models, building your own models, etc. They have a huge amount of information on there and it goes pretty deep. They also have a community, and I don't think many people know about this compared to their courses. But in here, it's a very active community where you can go in and you can discuss more technical aspects of artificial intelligence. This tends to be more technical just because it's linked to their courses, but it's a very valuable and highly active community. So I definitely recommend this as well. Another one that is a bit more technical, but again very useful and very active, is Learn AI Together. This one has been around for years actually. I want to say like at least 7 years, and it's a Discord community. Looks like it's got about 90,000 members, which is amazing. This, if you Google, this is a join page, so if you Google Learn AI Together Discord, you'll be able to get to this page and you'll be able to join. Again, this is more technical, so there's people discussing machine learning, discussing the latest research, etc. But it's still a very good place to hang out if you want to start to glean information at that kind of level as well. Something a bit more practical, my friend Marcin has a school community which is for AI builders specifically. Now this is for people who, I'm not logged in at the moment, but this is for people who are vibe coding, who are building, who are creating from scratch. And he has a structured course. It's a 21-day challenge where he kind of walks you through how you start to use these tools. And then after that, it is a community. And it's an extremely supportive and generous community, which does not, you don't see it that often. But Marcin has somehow managed to create this very safe space where people are celebrating each other's wins. He also won the school games last month, which was great job on his side. This one is paid, by the way. The other ones so far are not paid, but this one is, because it's a bit more structured, and he has challenges and live calls and support, etc., etc. But still, this is one that I'm in, and I highly recommend. I keep getting people, when I post in there, I get every once in a while people say, "Oh, I know you. You're from YouTube." It's like, yeah, thanks. It's a really good community there. And then finally, self-plug, I am relaunching my community. We actually have 3,000 members, but it's been relatively quiet. It hasn't been used, the free community, for the last year or so. So we're reinvigorating it now. So if you go to aiwithkyle.com, it's a join community, totally free. The free version of the community here. We don't actually have a paid version yet, but we might do that in the future. Not a warning, that's not right. Just for full disclosure, we might add a paid layer later, but right now it's free. And what we'll be doing is adding in what's been discussed in the live. Also, if I have a video that people have been talking about and it's controversial or a heated argument, I'll also bring that into the community so we can discuss it as well. But it's not just me posting stuff. I want to bring people in, and you guys can post, you can ask questions, you can look for business partners, you can support each other, etc., etc. So it's going to be a space for all of us rather than just me sending you stuff, because you can find my stuff on social media anywhere. So we are reinvigorating this community right now. You can find it on my website, join community. It's totally free to join. We will be pushing more and more. I'll be doing the lives in the community moving forward. And I'm going to be doing some exclusive AMAs and kind of more interactive sessions in there as well. And I'm also adding a challenge, an AI readiness challenge. So if you are feeling a little overwhelmed with artificial intelligence, I'm adding a 5-day challenge, which kind of helps get you set up and pointed in the right direction for working out what on earth to do with an AI in the future. And this also comes with everything else. So we have 100 playbooks, which are in catalog. We have a bunch of courses. So I'm moving my courses over onto here, and these are extremely, like this one here is 123 lessons. These are not small courses, but these are all available for you for free when you join the newsletter and the community. So I'm basically giving away, I hope, a massive amount of value for those people who come into the community and want to learn about artificial intelligence and how you're going to shape your life moving forward. So again, that is at aiwithkyle.com. Join the community and hopefully see a few of you in there. I'm going to be also writing a newsletter about it, which goes out tomorrow, just kind of explaining what we're going to be doing with the community, what kind of challenges, what kind of events, kind of themes, etc. we're going to be looking at moving forward. So hopefully see a few of you in there over the next few weeks. Just going to pop over to questions. Oh, hey, Tamas. Tamas, are you both in Circle and on TikTok? You have me on multiple screens. I'm okay with that. There's more views, I guess. Awesome. I don't see any questions today, which is absolutely fine. So I'm going to finish up the live. Again, the newsletter is available on the website aiwithkyle.com, and it includes, just pull it up, the update from the live stream, but edited and chunked up and easier to read through because it's written and it comes out every single day, as well as the resources. So for example, today we looked at the Open Router 100 trillion token study. I'll add that into the next newsletter so that you can go and investigate it yourself. and I'll be adding it on the community so that we can discuss it as well. So it just gives you a bunch of different ways to access the material, to engage with it via video, via writing, via the community, whatever's easier for you. We just want to make it valuable in some way. So make sure you are subscribed to the newsletter and join the community by clicking on the join community button. All of this is free, and hopefully see you in them as well. And then finally, YouTube. Where am I? There we go. Oh wow, 10,500 subscribers. We just crossed 10,000 subscribers very recently, which was my big goal this year, and we're already at 10,500, so it's speeding up. All of the live streams go into YouTube. They get tidied up, they get cleaned, they get edited. We have time codes, and then we break them into smaller sections as well, so that you can again find the information that you're looking for. So make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed to the newsletter, totally free, and join the free community as well. If you want to hear and see even more of me, I don't know why you would. I'm sick of myself, but hey, some people like to, so who am I to complain about that? Awesome. Thank you so much. I wish you a happy weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Thank you so much, everyone.